Don, and in today's video I'm going to take you behind the scenes on a recent video that I DOP'd. So let's check it out.
Cucerește strada cu noile la Strada Sticks.
So that turned out pretty cool, right? Well, we're gonna go in depth behind the scenes and I'm gonna tell you everything that you need to know about cameras, lenses, lighting, and everything that I've done in order to get this image.
It's a small town jukebox rock and roll. Yeah, like Coltrane playing when it hits your soul. Get the whole thing shaking when we hit the floor.
Alright, so let's get into it. So here you see me talking with Doreen, making plans about how we're gonna shoot this. He is our main director. He's the one that hired me for this commercial. And in the next shots, you see me getting my gear prepped up. Here you see me putting the Armament 2.0 from TILTA because the gimbal that we're using is really heavy. It's the DJI Ronin 2 with my ZCAM E2 and the DZO Vespid Prime with a lot of other accessories like from Darth Connection, Small HD, and things like that. I chose to go with the 50mm from DZO Vespid because I wanted to have that premium look that you see in a lot of movies. Here you see Doreen talking with our main actress Madalena, who is also known for playing in big roles in big movies, so we had a really good actor. We did a little bit of a prep shots. And one thing about the whole setup was the fact that it was really sunny outside. The sun was really harsh. So we had a 4x4 in front of her, making our shadows look really nice, really good. That was amazing to have. And the boys from Grip Team did an amazing job putting the 4x4 wherever we wanted. So it was really easy to have soft lighting. The 4x4 wasn't a full CTO, it was half CTO because I still wanted to have a lot of light on her and to give the impression that it's still sunny outside. I used the hoverboard for a lot of shots because this allows me to get really smooth shots. And compared to other gimbals, I think DJI Ronin 2 isn't like the most stable gimbal out there, so I needed something to make it really steady. And because we're using long lenses, that was totally mandatory to have the setup as stable as possible. One thing that was really challenging for the focus puller was the fact that we shot everything at t2.1, which was really hardcore because the camera is full frame and having to shoot at 50mm at t2.1 on a full frame camera is really hard to pull focus and keep everything in focus. And shout out to Chipri for making such an amazing job holding that focus tech sharp on our subject. Even though it was sunny, we still used lights because we have really powerful lights from Nanlite, the FORZA 500, which allowed us to use the light in a lot of situations. For example, in this shot, we used the light as a backlight, and as you can see, it gives our subject a really nice look. The light did an amazing job considering the fact that it was extremely sunny outside, so that was absolutely amazing. Didn't expect the light to perform that good. We're seeing here our actress getting ready for the shots. We had tons of ice creams because it was really hot outside. We had a lot of people on this commercial. It was like a huge crew, and Doreen did an amazing job talking to everyone, staying calm, telling us exactly what he wants. He was so well prepared. Everyone was amazed on how good he did as a director and also as a producer, I would say, because like he did part of the production also. A lot of prepping going into the makeup, making sure everything looks great, and also it was really hard to make all the shots. Like whenever she was biting from that ice cream, things didn't go as planned, and as we were going into the production, the sun was moving, everything was looking a little bit different, so it was kind of difficult to replicate the same lighting over and over again and make things look as beautiful as we can. And I tried my best to make the image shine and make the image look expensive, because that's what the brands want. They want to have something that looks premium, looks expensive, looks like they spend a lot of money on it. We had some shots where I put a 100mm macro from DZO on the gimbal to get some closer shots, and it was really hard to stay in focus with this one. Even though it was a T2.8, it was still hard to make focus, and we had a few takes that we kind of had to redone because of the focus being so narrow. But one thing was, like, I was really impressed that I managed to get a really stable shot with the 100 on the gimbal. And guys, the ZCAM E2 F6, it's not a camera that it's stable. It's one of the most shakiest cameras I have, and the footage turned out really good. We added a little bit of stabilization here and there, but definitely the hoverboard helped a lot. We used the FORZA Nanlite 500 for our next shots too, which were under a tree, and we kind of had to do a really hard setup with the lighting because the guys were in the shadow but a little bit in the sun, so we kind of had to put that 4x4 into the trees, and there was a lot of light hitting my monitor, so the guys helping me here judge the exposure a little bit better and make sure everything looks good. So that was really nice from them to have that. Overall, the actors were really nice. Doreen was giving them really good instructions. It was honestly really easy for me to film this because there was a lot of weight getting out of my shoulders. Not practically because the gimbal was really hard, but in terms of stress, it was way easier than what I do when I film my commercials, because whenever I do my own commercials, there is a lot of stress on my part because I have to do productions, call actors, find actors, find locations and all that. And on this one, I only had to focus on the things that I am good at, meaning images. Moving on to the next scene, which was kind of problematic because the sun went into the clouds. Whenever you start filming and you base your commercial on a sunny day and then it starts getting cloudy, you have a problem. And because we used a lot of diffusion in the first shots, it was really easy to mix in the cloudy shots. So yeah, that was a good call to have a lot of diffusion and make the image as soft as possible in the first place, and then when the clouds came, it was easier to match than we thought. So here we are changing lenses, and we had a shot in mind where we wanted to see the fridge from up top, and I had a lot of reflection in the fridge glass, so we kind of wanted to put this flag in here to block that reflection, but it didn't work, so we went with a different angle, which was better. Not necessarily more aesthetic, but better in terms of being fast, because we filmed the horror commercial in one day, so we needed to be as effective as possible. Moving on, we had quite a few locations for this commercial. We had like 4 or 5 locations. I was trying my best to make the image look as good as possible. Even in this scene, we still use the Forza 500 as a backlight to give more three-dimensionality to our image and make it pop, make it look like a studio image and more expensive. These shots were for a different commercial in the same commercial, so it was like an alternative commercial to the one that we filmed, and it was based on one frame, so that's why you see me having a slowly pull into the actress and getting just one shot. We used a 35mm for this one, and it was a different kind of look. But yeah, you kind of see me doing a little bit of B-roll shots with the hoverboard and with her paddling, and I'm actually gonna put some footage here just to show you how stable this setup is and how good it looks. I think we got some pretty nice shots following her. So here you see me setting up my handheld rig because we had a few handheld shots, and it's the same camera. I just pulled it out of the gimbal, and you see me giving a little bit of direction to the actors and trying to figure out where they were supposed to go. And yeah, from that point on, it was a lot of fun trying to get as dynamic as possible because that was on the script. So I kind of like followed the guys with my hand, and the image looks pretty cool. I mean, I'm gonna put some shots here, and you're gonna see that it's pretty stable even though it's handheld. So I think my hand kind of got used to filming handheld, and now I get really stable shots, which is kind of cool. But anyway, yeah, this was it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this commercial, and if you did, make sure to follow me on YouTube and give me some comments about what behind the scenes or what you want to see next. And until next time, make sure to hang around here, follow me on Instagram too, and go out, create some epic content. Cheers.